Hey everyone, I recently had a conversation with Raunak Pandey, who is a senior product manager in Quest Software. He worked in S&P Global and Amazon before. And in this conversation, we talked about how to start your career in PM. If you want to be a PM, what path exactly you need to follow. And if you want to switch your career from your existing career to a proper PM role. So if you want to start your career in PM or you want to switch your career path to a PM role, this video is for you. Hey Ronak.
Hi.
Yeah, so let's start with the questions from the community. The first question that we have is how it looks like to be a PM and how your day-to-day work life looks like.
Yeah. So being a product manager is a very fantastic opportunity that anyone can find in these days. So I think there is a word going around that it's a sexiest job in 2024, being a product manager. And typically, a product manager's day starts. So naturally, I mean, you are going. The first thing that you would do is open your emails, check your mailbox. So how I do it is first thing that I go and check is what are the open items or the left items from yesterday from my to-do list. Then I take it and review my email, check my calendars, and plan my day ahead. So I would say about 20 to 50% of my time goes into meeting. And those meetings are mostly about looking at the customer issues or the existing customer that they are complaining about something that is not working fine. And the remaining 50% of the time, again, are categorized into preparing strategies for upcoming releases. So we plan our releases in like quarterly and bi-annually basis. So some of the work like preparing user stories around it, preparing use cases, building a roadmap, typically 25% to 20% amount of that time. Remaining 20% or 10% amount of time goes into looking at the community. So the way we have, let's say, Play Store, in Play Store, we have an option to see the ratings and feedbacks. So mostly looking at those and identifying what can be done in order to make those customers happy. So that's typically my day, and I also participate in a number of meetings that goes around with technical team, the sales team, the support team, and as well as executive meetings. So yeah, this is how typically a product manager day look like, and obviously you have to make some room throughout your day, to get things done. So I keep couple of hours every day blocked in my calendar so that I can focus on and get something done. So that's how my typical day looks like. But again,
Okay,
it varies from product managers to product managers and the kind of role they are into.
okay. So I want to understand more about what a PM do, like what exactly the job role looks like, or is it more dependable upon how the company is looking forward to it or the company's industry. So how exactly a PM like work?
A simple example is again the kind of product, if it is catering a B2B business or a B2C business, or you could be an internal product manager where you are developing in-house products. So mine is a B2B business where we develop commercial softwares for B2B businesses. And typically, every product manager has their own way of doing things. And yeah, that's how there are different roles within product manager. So some of them can be SaaS product manager, some of them can be DaaS, so data as a service, software as a service, product as a service. And in some companies there are product owners as well who works as a proxy product managers. So yeah, it's this is how, I mean, and again, in some companies they have product specialists, so there are different names for the same role.
Okay, so how to be a PM, and or do we need any kind of certifications or experience for it?
That depends. Is if so, let's say you are a fresher and you're just starting your career and you want to get into product management. There is certain ways that you can follow and certain skill sets that you can acquire to get into product management. There are a lot of different companies who are hiring associate product managers who can directly join through a campus hiring or some placement drives or through referrals. So there are a lot of companies hiring. And other way is if you are an experienced candidate having good experience, like you're a senior member like with 10 or 8 to 10 years of experience, and you have been involved into multiple projects and you know how to deliver something, then definitely you can become a product manager. There is no straight path, I would say, that you complete this course then you can become a product manager. First thing, you have to decide and you have to identify what exactly your vision is, what kind of product manager you want to be. There are FMCG companies where they hire product managers. There are clothing industries. There are OTT platforms. There are software companies. So almost everywhere, wherever you see, there are product managers. Maybe they are called product managers, may not be calling them product managers, but they're definitely doing the product manager's job. So there are different ways, especially for freshers. I think there are a couple of certificates that you can acquire to get into product management. Like there is a CSPO, PSPO, SAFE, and there is some institutes offer online courses. Like you can get yourself certified from Udemy. There is Product School where they are offering code courses which you can do for a couple months, understand what product management is, what are the principles that you have to follow. And obviously you have YouTube and ChatGPT, which you can explore to become a product manager. But you have to decide in what particular field that you are good at. Whether you are good at designing, whether you understand what exactly the customer needs, how can you solve a problem, or you are a technical enthusiast and you understand technology really well, then you can get into a technical product manager role. Or you are good with FMCG and you understand what exactly the consumer needs are, then you can get into FMCG. Or whether there are business, finance, there are various sectors that you can get into.
So, what are the core skill set required to be a PM? Is it problem solving, or is it design? Is it coding? Like, if it is a pro development, then what are the exact skills that required to be a PM?
So a product manager has to wear multiple hats. So need to have multiple skill sets. You don't have to be expert in, but at least you should have a sound understanding of how to do some things. So let's take an example. Let's take an example. You want to become a product manager and you want to launch, let's say, Uber. Okay. So first thing, what exactly the problem that you want to solve. So you understand there is a need of a platform where users can book a rides and they offer a great prices and great convenience. But as of today, there is, let's imagine Uber doesn't exist today and there is no such platform that offers this. So the hassle is you have to get down to a specific location where you have to discuss and negotiate the price with the taxi drivers, and some of them might agree or might not. So there is a problem. There is a problem that we could solve. So what exactly the problem is? Problem is that we want to create a platform that provide convenience to the users where they can book a ride at their convenience and they will be picked up at doorstep. So first thing that you have to identify the problems. And once the problem is identified, who exactly your audience is, and basically who will be getting benefits from this solution. So that brings in some more data analysis or other statistical knowledge that also comes handy. That whether you understand the demography, that okay, the audience that I'm targeting who is going to book rides are mostly age group of 20 to 40. They are from an urban city, okay, and they are like a working professionals. They have a good purchasing power. So all these things you have to understand. And then once these things are, then you can prepare. a report or something, so that you can discuss with your stakeholders, or whoever is putting their money on. So you can discuss with them, convince them, okay, this is a problem that we are solving, these are the number of people will be benefited, and this is how, what is the return on investment that we're going to get. Then comes, so this is like the first initial phase where you basically get to decide, prepare a hypothesis and proof of concept that this can be done. Then next phase comes designing. So designing is how intuitive that design is. You don't have to be very good at Photoshop or Figma in order to prepare, but at least you should have an understanding that how a user journey should be look like. So from the moment a user downloads the app or opens the platform in a browser, to how they are booking the rides. So throughout the journey, you should be able to draw it. Maybe I think if you have heard this, that Jeff Bezos starting or Steve Jobs, they started this user journey on a notepad or a napkin or something, right? So you should be able to articulate it in such a way that somebody who is technically strong or who is a designer can understand your thoughts and your vision. So at least you should have some sound of knowledge that you can create a wireframe so that a prototype can be built, and then you can look into more about user experience and things like that again. And then once you have a prototype or a MVP ready, then you can also the sales and how to do marketing. So all these skill set, you have to have a sound understanding, which becomes very handy when you start working as a product manager. And I can go on and on about this.
So after listening to this, I can sense that it is more of in-house entrepreneur. It is more of EIR, entrepreneur residence. So
Right.
it's like that, building a product from scratch, from ideation to MVP, to test it out, to do A/B testing, to do lo-fi and hi-fi testing, and launching it in the market. So it's about the mini
Yes.
entrepreneur. So yeah, I believe there is a reason that PM is also known as the mini job role of a
Mini
CEO.
CEO. Yeah.
Yeah,
CEO. Right. Right. Yeah. That's why it is called the sexiest job is 2024, because with, like in Spider-Man said, with power comes great responsibility.
right.
And that's how our product manager's job is every day, and that's how they do it. So they have to make a lot of decisions, and some of the decisions are in like maybe the gut feeling, but some of them are definitely data driven. So you have a strategy around it, but it should be supported by data, because someone who is putting their money on, they would definitely want to get some ROI, and also you want to give the value to the customer who is investing in you.
Right. And in the previous conversation that we had, just like you stated this word about the product owner. So, what is the difference
Hmm.
between product owner and a product manager? And who is the product owner basically?
Okay, so in currently in the industries, especially in the software market, product owners and product managers are, in some companies they are the same. In some companies, product managers look at more on a strategy and a vision point of view. However, the product owner looks at the implementation and the execution. So the product manager is going to develop a strategy, prepare a strategy, prepare a roadmap, and product owner's responsibility is to work it out with the development team and other involved team and make that happen. So in short, product owners are responsible for execution and implementation of certain piece of a product, and however a product manager is responsible for overall strategy, where you have marketing, you have sales, you have design and everything. But product owners are mostly responsible for executing those strategies with the help of other involved team. So more like project managers, where you have a certain deadline, you have a cost and everything, team and everything is decided, and you are getting things done. So from there, the product owner comes in. Product owner is going to be a stakeholder for those teams who are involved. If they have any questions, any doubts, they will reach out to the product owner. And the product owner is also going to ensure that the things are getting delivered on time. And if there are any roadblocks, so the owner has to update and send out a message saying that we have a hiccup or something, and then product manager can plan it accordingly. But in typical hierarchy, if I would say, a product owner is will be mostly they will be reporting to the product managers. So one product manager will have multiple product owners, and the product owners will be responsible or will be a point of contact for a specific features or a specific process, where they will be looking at overall like a project manager, and they will be the stakeholder for that particular piece, and they'll be again sharing the reports back to the product head or a product manager.
Okay, like we're talking about the differences, so there is a lot of buzz around project management as well. So, what is the difference
Mhm.
between a basic product manager and a project manager?
Okay, so what the project manager, there is a very thin line between a project manager and a product manager. So you will see product managers more on an entrepreneurial side, where in a startup environment, but the big MNCs are also started adopting the culture, the startup culture of extreme programming and getting things done rapidly. So that's why they introduced the product management culture. But in back in days, or still in some organizations, there are project managers as well. So the major difference in a project manager or a project management versus product management is the project manager mostly look at the implementation, the execution, similar as a product owner, where there is the outcome is fixed. Okay, but in product management the outcome is not fixed. It varies from time to time, right? So let's say we were discussing about Uber, right? So suddenly Indian government decide, or any country's government decide that they don't want to offer rights, or they will not allow a random company to come in and start sharing rights. Or a real time case is, there was a company started that they were allowing the users, the drivers with white number plate, to book rides or a taxi. So that is not allowed by the transport department. So again, you have to have a yellow number plate, a commercially registered vehicle. Then only you can take it as a book rides as a taxi. So in this case, we were not sure, like when such rules can come in or impact the business. So that's how the product manager has to decide, prepare the strategy around it, so that they are prepared for unknowing or uncertainties. However, in project management, you know what the fixed outcome is going to be and what exactly is going to be developed, and you have a time frame, you have resources, everything allocated, and you try to finish it within the time frame. Now I'll give you another example. How can we differentiate? Let's say you are building a ATM machine, right? So you know what exactly ATM machine is going to do. We are going to have a card, physical card. We're going to insert a card, put the amount, the username, or the ATM pin, and they select the desired amount, and you'll get the money back, right? So the in this case, the outcome is fixed. There there are very less chances of this outcome may changes, but we may add some more features to it. But initially, the outcome is fixed. So in this case, we will not hire a product manager. In this case, we'll hire a project manager who is going to look at the outcome and ensure that everything runs smooth and this get executed on time. I hope that clarifies the difference between project and product management.
Yeah, so I can sense the hierarchy and a curve here, like product owner, product manager, and a project manager. So, is there a learning curve or a straight path or to be or like at the end goal? And to achieve that, it can be like senior product manager, it can be a
Mhm.
project manager. So, is there any learning curve or a straight path to it?
Again, at any point of time, you can decide to be a product manager, even if it is your early career or you're just starting it out, or maybe you are a mid senior professional and you want to switch into product management. uh, the easiest way that I mean the way that I have followed is to look opportunities within your organization. So first thing is you have to be a subject matter expert in exactly what you're doing or what your organization is doing. You have to understand the nature of business. what exactly we are selling or what exactly our services are. So once you understand that, the next thing comes up is what are the problems. Then only you will be able. What let's say you understand the nature of business, then you are ready to understand what the problem this business is facing, and then from there you can start picking up how what are the solutions that we can propose. My transition was very much similar to this. So I worked in industry, in a finance industry for almost 3.5 years, where I understood the problem, what exactly the problem is within. And then I started working with some of the product managers, started giving my suggestions that these are some of the ideas which are going to solve this problem. Then they really liked this idea, and they started including me in the execution process. So instead of having a product owner who is going to look at the execution and implementation, I was working very closely with the product managers, discussing these strategies. This is how something we can do it, and then slowly, paved my path into product management and got, successfully delivered couple of projects. Then I was kind of ready. And other skill sets, like let's say you need to have a good communication skills. You need to understand the problem, like the problem solving is the first thing that you need to understand and you need to have. Next thing comes is a communication skills. So being a product manager, the most important thing that it is very difficult as well at the same time is when to say no, because there are customers, there are internal teams, there are, your CEO, your stakeholders. Everyone is going to come up with their feature request, with their some request, and you need to understand when to say no. I think saying no is the difficult part, the more hardest part that I ever faced, because let's say your CEO comes and, and his suggestion is let's do it in this way. But as a product manager, you also need to understand what are the technical challenges that you're going to face, what the business impacts are going to be with this changes. So you need to understand how, these all these things will happen, and you have to be prepared to say no, even to your CEO as well. So I think that is the hardest part, that you also that comes with the communication skill. So if you are good with your communication skills, then you will be able to convince your stakeholders that okay, this thing can be done or cannot be done, or with if we need additional time frame or additional resource. So that's where the communication skills become handy. Also need to understand the customer intuition, so how the customer behaves, what exactly they want, what are the features that they don't want. So all these things come handy if you are a fresher who wants to start as a product associate, typically an associate product manager. So you can create your portfolios. So first thing you start, first if you identify what are the things that you're good at. If you're good at designing, start designing your own portfolio. There is Figma is there, Adobe XP is there, and there are different platforms which offers designing platforms where you can design your mockups and UIs and other things. You can design your wireframes. So start doing it for the existing products. Let's say you have Swiggy, you have Zomato. You can start designing it how well you can design it, how convenient you can make it, and then you can start creating your portfolio and publishing it online. So you can start publishing it through LinkedIn, or you can, when you put it on your resume, if you're applying for a job, they can again look at your portfolio, and it creates a great impression for you. So that's one way. Another way is, if you are good at technical side and you're good at execution, then you can go for some certifications like CSPO, that is certified scrum product owner. So it's like an entry level certifications, which is mostly in this MNCs and big software companies are asking, is like a first starting point. So CSPO is there, and then you can go for an advanced CSPO. And then you have product school and Udemy, and there are different courses which offers product management courses where you can apply and you can learn the core concepts of product management. But again, to summarize what I said is, there is no straight path. You have to mold yourself in such a way that you can fit in,
Right.
or whether the product fits within your expertise, or you have to fit within the product expertise.
Right. Right.
But the problem solving and communication are the two very major aspect of becoming a product manager.
Okay, so if I talk about, like you basically talked about the designer perspective as well, uh, coding experience guy perspective as well. That if they both want to start your journey as a PM, then you gave a proper pathway. But if I talk about data, because multiple times you stated the word data, that it
Hmm.
totally depends upon the data. It is a data driven decision that PM usually makes. So
Right.
can data analyst guys and can business analyst people can get into PM roles? And if it is, then how? What is the like path for them? What is the pathway? What is the entry level job for it? What can be the door for them to get into this industry?
They can again aim for again associate product managers role, which does not necessarily ask for any experience. Or sometimes they might ask for a couple of years of experience. But I think somebody who is working as a business analyst, I think they are already working very closely with the product development team or product management team, so they know kind of in and out process. Like I said, the easiest way to get in transition is looking at opportunity internally, start getting themselves involved more in product management. So the data driven decisions, obviously you are working with the data, you know what data or what insights you're bringing in. Now just need to understand the second step, the other side of the coin, is how to take decision based on this data. Now I'll give you an example. Let's say you are in fashion industry, operating from Mumbai. Okay. And now as a business analyst or as a data analyst, your product manager comes in and asks, okay, give me the projection of how many new or how many males are there which are who are under 25, and they have preferences wearing western clothes. Okay, so you have a big chunk of data. You're going to deep and gather these insights. Now you just have to understand why exactly my product manager has asked me for this specific information. What exactly he's going to do with this piece of information. Once you understand this, okay, why the hell he's asking for only for men, what not women? Maybe the strategy of this fashion industry is to develop clothing only around men, not around women, right? So let's say that's where your domain knowledge, your subject matter expertise comes in, that you understand your business. You're only making clothes for men, right? Let's say john players are only making clothes for men, especially for those who like wearing formals. So for obviously the natural the question is, who are wearing formals? Obviously those who are in college or maybe working professionals. Not everybody wears formals on a daily basis. So somebody who is a working professional will be wearing formals. Okay, where are these working professional located? These working professional are located mostly in tier 1 and tier 2 cities, where they are working where they are working. What particular industry they are, especially they are from let's say finance or banking sector, because it's mandatory there to wear formals, right? So why these questions are being asked, once you understand this, then your role as a product manager starts kicking in, and you again understand the problem, and then you can help your product manager to solve this problem. Again, the next thing, once you have understand this, get your certifications. Again, if you are experienced professional, the certifications are the things which is going to accelerate or give you an additional jump if you want to move into product management.
Right.
So again, like I said, CSPO, understand what the culture is. If you are operating in scrum or agile, if your industry or your company is it has adopted the agile way of product development, understand that and get a relevant certification from there. If they are operating in a safe environment, get a safe POPM certification, and then start looking for internal opportunities. I would not recommend, but there are people who are also faking it. But again, they have good knowledge, and even they have faked it in their profiles, they're still making it a way out.
Yeah, because authenticity is the thing that matters the most. So,
Hmm.
yeah, the real certifications and the real approach, the real pathway will get somebody more success rather than faking. Because I personally found many people faking a couple of certifications or even the work experience when we ask about their work experience LOR or maybe the certificate of completion. They usually don't provide it, and then we usually get to know that this is something that is a negative point. So yeah, the reality check is must. be there. And any last note for freshers who want to start their career in PM? Is it like a proper pathway, or is it just do certification and go ahead? Or it should be a skill set driven pathway as well, that first nourish the skill and then move ahead with the certifications.
Mm, So the freshers have to balance the way they have to keep balance between a skill set as well as uh, so like I said, they need to have a portfolio, and to begin with a portfolio, if they want. So again, a product manager, there are different roles. First, understand what product management is. The product management is a big umbrella, and there are various domains are there where you have to find. As a fresher, I would love to recommend. So if you ask me, what would I do if, let's say, if I was, I can get opportunity to go back in 10 years back, and how would I start my career as a product manager? So first thing I would do is understand uh, what is product management, what's under the umbrella, and I will try to find where I'm fitting the best. It could be banking sector, it could be finance sector, it could be FMCG, it could be technology. So whatever is like I'm fond of, or like that suits me, and then I can work towards it. If And then let's say if you're good with designing, then you can start learning the designing concepts. You can start using creating a portfolio. You can start creating designs in Figma. Understand what user experience is, what UI is, how the user journey is, how the user basically typically where he wants to click, what happens, to how to avoid number of buttons, how to not to distract the customer, or where do you want to redirect them. So understand these concepts, and then you have a clear path of putting yourself into a user experience in UI. Let's say if you are somebody who is good with technologies, then you can go for a technical product manager role or a TPM role, where you understand what the infrastructure is, maybe cloud infrastructure. You understand how the extreme programming works, and you understand some programming concepts. You know what SQL is, how what big data is, what BigQuery is. So these, you just need to have some familiarity of and what the design patterns are, how to design structures. Then you can look at there are various DevOps tool like Azure DevOps and things like that. The one thing that as a fresher, if I get this opportunity, I would like to learn product management tools. That is very important. I think nobody is aware, or maybe somebody has not emphasized more about this. So there is Azure DevOps project management or project management platform, where you get to see all the creating user stories, or breaking the hierarchy epics to feature to user stories and tasks. You also need to learn that, because end of the day, whatever strategy, whatever idea, or whatever things that you're going to do within that tool, and if you are familiar with that tool, your life becomes very easy. And time management is very important. So as a fresher, you have to understand you only get 8 hours a day, because remaining time you want to spend with your family and things. So remember, you only just got 8 hours, so you have to make best of those 8 hours. So again, to summarize, understand what's under the product management umbrella, identify what are the opportunities that you are excited, that makes exciting or sounds exciting to you. Let's say if it is a technical side, then go for the certifications, CSPO, PSPO, and there are many more. Learn the design concepts and the infrastructure, the cloud, what is cloud, what is API, learn these concepts. If you are somebody who wants to improve the user experience, UI design, then you can prepare your portfolio in Figma. There are various designing tools. You can, again, there have also certification options. You can go for certifications, but create a portfolio. Try showcasing as much as you can over LinkedIn, or you're creating or writing a personal blog, showcasing them to the world, get feedbacks. And right, both skill set, even if you want to be a technical product manager or a user experience side, you still need to have data knowledge. So you have to be very good at Excel. You need to you must know how to play around with data. So how to prepare charts and other things, how you're going to basically convince your stakeholders. So these things are very handy. And you need to have a strong network of product managers. So I would recommend definitely start having conversation with some of the experienced folks. Talk with them how they are doing it, like the conversation we are having it. We can have more specific conversation of what particular role is. So if you want to become a technical product manager, identify somebody who's interested in sharing their knowledge. And then yeah, that's how that's the easiest way, I would think. And if you're an experienced guy, look opportunity within the organization.
Understood, understood. So, yeah, thank you for sharing your experience and the learning curves, the pathways for freshers, and even for the experienced people who want to just start their career in product management. It was great having a conversation with you, Raunak. It's like we really see like people coming out to guide people, especially in niches. So I'm grateful for that. And if I talk about PM is really a high stake task, and PM is
Yes.
basically a bridge between design, stakeholders, tech team, customer success, sales. They basically have the bridge, and they usually manage with all these teams to like make the product and just identify the right problems, and they ask the right questions, and they make right decisions to make product success. So yeah, PM plays a crucial role in defining the company's success. So
Yes, absolutely.
thank you for sharing your expertise and experience. Thank you for having on board. Yeah.
And thank you for having me. And it was really great talking these things. I really get chance to speak, talk more about product management. It's more about what we do. And yeah, again, all the best to all the listeners who want to get into product management. Just keep in mind that you have to be a good listener, and you need to understand what exactly the problem that you're going to solve, and learn how when to say no.
Sure, that's a great advice, I believe. Yeah. So thank you. We will wrap up here.